Good morning. Good morning. It is 6 a.m. for me. So check out this bed head. Woohoo. And I've got some tea. I am not at home, um, which is maybe a good thing. Hopefully, our signal stays nice and strong for you. We are in the woods. We are at a family camp and enjoying some family time. But when Edie Pelletier says, "Hey, Kate, will you speak on a global live cast?" As much as this has been a little vacation from work, you say, "Yes, Edie Pelletier, we will do that for you anytime." Edie's even awake right now? What on earth? Oh, it is 7 a.m. your time. That's not so bizarre. And you guys, when Edie asked us, she gave us this whole big list of topics. And so I was really picky. I was like, okay, which one can I do? Which one would I actually be good at? And I'm still getting over a cold. Hey, good morning, you guys. Macy. Unbelievable. I'm just so glad you guys are here with me. I kind of figured, I'd figured my European friends would be with us because it's afternoon there. But Edie had all these topics. Mine was, I just remembered, Edie, last night that I actually had a topic I was supposed to stick to. Keep your spirit in it, which I can see why I picked that, because it is so easy for you to get discouraged and not keep your spirit in it. Okay, pick one hairstyle, Kate. Just stick with it and go with it. Okay, can we do good this? Can we do good with this one? All right. And I'm like, good thing I picked that and it didn't put me at 1 a.m. my time. That would have been a little crazy too. So anyways, I will take the 6 a.m. And my kids were all so tight. We're all sleeping in one cabin. And they were all so exhausted that they did not hear my alarm go off. So that's good. That's good. Leanne is here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about this. I often get asked to speak. And, like, for example, next weekend, I get to speak in the summer simulcast. Now, here's where I get hung up. I love to speak and I love to talk, but sometimes I'm given a topic. Like next week is follow-up, and I'm like, all right, I can teach on follow-up. But you guys, and I can get fired up about follow-up, but so often I think we're so used to hearing speaking about skills that we're not training our hearts and our brains, because Lord knows our hearts and our brains need some training sometimes in how to stay strong. So, how to keep our spirit in it. I'm so glad that after all my notes I wrote, which I never usually write notes, I looked at the topic that I was actually supposed to speak on. Keep your spirit in it. Hey, what I have to say to you today very much is about how to keep the spirit in it, how to keep your spirit alive. You guys, it's only August, month 1 out of 6 of this incentive. Every day I have to fight to keep my spirit alive. Isn't that amazing? Like, as much as I'm energized and excited by this job, I'm energized and excited and passionate about earning the trip, every day I fight myself. Why is that? We don't often talk about the self-doubt and the lies that our brains are telling us. You have to fight through that every day. And I'm here to see what I can do to help. You know, of course, every 24-hour training opportunity, or every training opportunity that's all day long, I think this is the first 24-hour one, Edie, so good job. I'm telling my team, whether they're brand new that day or they've been in it for a long time, I say, come join this page. You need it. You know, so this isn't training for just one set of people. This is training for everybody across the board. And this is what I worry about. I worry about those of us who went to Africa or went to Punta Cana or have earned 10 trips in 8 years or whatever. Not me. I'm on trip 2. I'm a newbie. But I'm worried for those of you watching who say, I could never do that. Or, holy cow, all this information is great, but I'm so overwhelmed, I'm going to dip out. Good morning. I'm worried about a team member of mine who sent me a message and said, Kate, I'm done till Monday. I'll talk to you then. I was like, super random, out of nowhere. We hadn't been having a conversation, you know, it had left a few days ago, the conversation about whatever. And she said, no, I'm out taking a dip out of Cincy. I'll be back Monday. I'm like, what's going on? Why did you send me this message? You know, what's going on here? And she said, oh, I've been watching the trainings and it's too much. I feel overwhelmed. And she went on to compare herself to somebody else in our group who's having a slammin' good month. And it made her feel less than. It made her feel insecure about her own performance. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny how, let's say in corporate America, somebody can enter into the workforce, grow themselves and grow their skills enough to get promotions, a new office, maybe pay raises, status growth. All right, let's say it's a he. He's feeling pretty good about it. He likes his job. He's having a good time. He loves the people he works with. He actually likes his boss. He's having a good time. He's worked so long for something he loves, and finally, he's feeling pretty awesome. All right? He's happy at his job. How valuable is that in life, right? And then something happens. He sees that there's a new guy sitting next to him with a similar position, just out of college. Meanwhile, this man has been working his whole career to get where he is, and he sees somebody waltz in who's looking like he's doing pretty well, and he didn't take him as long. Now, here's the deal. One day, that man was happy with his job and his performance. Somebody comes along aside him with a different story, and all of a sudden that feels threatening to that man. All of a sudden he's feeling displeased with his performance, displeased in his workplace that he had been happy in. He's comparing himself. He's feeling jealous. He's feeling like he's comparing, and he's going, wait a minute, I deserve success because of this, because of how hard I've worked. I've earned my spot. And this guy walks in out of college and has an office right next to me. And what the heck? And all of a sudden it's like a wet blanket on his everyday. He's preoccupied with somebody else and their business. Why is it? Why does that happen? And it happens in Cincy too, you guys. And not hard feel. I mean, it's not something that we like talk about, but you know, director page. Us directors are all on the same Facebook page, and people will say, "How long after getting director did you achieve star director?" Now, you guys, I achieved director, and I was like, "All right, next step, star. Let's go." That was a year ago. We aren't so patient with our goals, right? I mean, I knew it would take time. And in my brain, I'm like, this will probably take a really long time. I couldn't imagine even being a director, let alone star. But, you know, in that conversation, people say, oh, it took me 1 year. It took me 2 years. It took me 6 months. Oh, I got to director and the next month I was star. And you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden, in my brain, I knew I had to take a long time to get to star. But all of a sudden, you're seeing that other people made it. They achieved that in months. Or, holy cow, they did it in a year. I'm at a year. Am I a failure because I didn't make it in a year? That's what we do to ourselves. Those are the internal conversations that, sorry, let me move my, those are the internal conversations we're having with ourselves continuously. And I'm just here to talk about our hearts today. I'm here because in the past, you know, in order to make myself feel accomplished or good, there's been times in the past where I've felt like I had to tear other people down. That's not okay. But as humans, we do that, and it's disgusting. And that's something that I'm fighting every day. Like when I was a teenager, I did it way more. I've trained myself that that's not an okay way to think. It's not okay to do that to other people. Did it to my own sister. I would insult my own sister so that I could feel superior. All right? That's not okay. Something else I've learned about behavior in this business, in life, when my performance is lacking or poor, it's me. That's on me. That's a pressure that I will bear because humans want to find other places of blame. And that's not okay. Do you hear it amongst people around you? When they say, oh, well, my market is so saturated, I cannot get a party to save my life. No, the market's not saturated, I can tell you, because my neighbor is a successful Scentsy consultant. My friend Bryn, who works at the bank 1 block away, successful Scentsy consultant. There's squirrels chasing each other outside. Oh, my hairdresser, 2 blocks down, successful Scentsy consultant. Oh, another team member who lives about 4 blocks from me just closed on a $700 Scentsy party. Who else just said, oh, my friend Jill just joined. Her launch party, $1,500. You guys, we have probably 12, if you want to talk about numbers that actually would count as saturated, my little town has so much Scentsy love. We seriously have probably 5 Scentsy consultants per square mile. I mean, I'm not even joking. We have so much Scentsy love. So anyways, that was just an example of somebody would say, I don't have high sales this month because people already have a Scentsy consultant. It's saturated. Okay? Or, oh my gosh, did you see the way she's selling those bars? That's terrible. And I'm the one who knows how to do it right. Like, I mean, just weird comparisons, weird ways of excuses. We see it in this business all the time. I want it to stop. And then the other thing I want to stop is listening to the success of others and having that jealousy, like deep jealousy that surfaces. You know, I'm a very happy and excited and enthusiastic person. And I can tell because of Scentsy and other things in my life. But I am at a really good spot, you guys. I feel good. I feel excited to wake up every day. I cannot wait to do my job. So I'm living this sweet life, right? As far as my emotions and my day-to-day, I feel sweet. And when when I see other people have gotten star director in like 6 months, and here I am, I feel that sour, disgusting taste come up in my soul. And it doesn't belong there. There's no reason for that. You shouldn't feel jealous when you hear about anyone's success, especially in this business, because there's room for everybody to have success. There's room for everybody. Hyde and Orville are in at home office saying, there's 10 spots here for the boat. All right? No. On that ship, there's like 6,000. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the amount of spots. I want to blow home office away with the response from us as consultants. I want them to look out at the Scentsy world and be like, look at those girls. Look at those men. Look at those teams. They are working already in August. They're doing a 24-hour simulcast where for free to rise up together. That's what we're doing here. We're not waking up in the middle of the night to talk to you so that you feel inadequate. We're trying to tell you that there are 1,000 paths in Scentsy to success. 1,000 ways. And when somebody's telling you about basket parties or home parties or fundraisers or text parties or vendor events, and your head is spinning because, you're overwhelmed or you're feeling a little jealous. No. What we're doing here is sharing our individual things that work. When we do that, listen and take what you can from it, okay? Don't think that you have to fully adopt it. You listen, be inspired. Do not be jealous. Do not be envious. Do not be overwhelmed. And I'm saying do not, do not, do not. Sometimes we can't help those things, okay? Sometimes we can't help that ugly, insecure feelings that come up. So when I talk about, my one teammate had the courage to tell me, Kate, this training is overwhelming. I can't do it all. Girl, tell me about it. Holy cow. Do you think I not come home from my weekend of trainings or my days of trainings and not go, I cannot do that all? But you guys, instead of saying I can't do it all and dipping out, take one thing and do it. Take one thing, one step at a time. I went to this training in Florida this year. I came home with a brain full. If I were to fully dive in to that, if I were to fully dive into everything that I learned, I would have wrecked myself. I would have been so overwhelmed. So I can take all these great ideas and say, what can I do now? What can I put into place now? We're going to start getting ready for breakfast. And start there. Start with one thing. So maybe somebody said sparked you to want to dive into fundraisers. Awesome. I want you to dive into fundraisers. Don't worry about anything else right now. When you wake up today, when you wake up tomorrow, take an hour and dive into fundraisers and get organized, okay? And then after that, then take care of your team, because you've already taken part of the sales part of your business. Now think about growing a team, because earning this incentive, you guys, is going to be sales and a team. You need to take care of both. Now, do you need to do all sales all the time, every single method to sell? No, just focus, just one thing at a time, guys. When we compare ourselves to others, we're failing to see people's past. Okay, don't get caught up in comparison. It's the thief of joy. It's the thief of joy. And when you compare yourself to others, well, she's doing a vendor show every weekend. She's doing 10 home parties a month and 8 bag parties. Oh my gosh. You guys, that's crazy. I mean, don't do that. Everybody has a different way. That's the beauty of this business, is that you get to pick what works for you. But when you find what works for you, go, 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 go. You cannot stop. I don't care if you have a 40-hour-a-week job, doing something else, mother of 5 kids, single, divorced, struggling with something. We all have our struggles. We all have our roadblocks. You need to choose Scentsy. If you want that trip, I'm not going to tell you that pouring in an hour a week is going to earn you that trip. I'm going to tell you that fighting every day and evaluating yourself, evaluating your business, taking care of your customers, and building a team. You have got to just find how you're going to do that and fight for it. Fight. So, I feel like I've barely even talked about what I put on my notes. That's what on napkins, by the way. That's why I don't write notes, because then my brain gets so far ahead of me. Now I'm like, where do I even start? Where do I even start? How would I just read you some of these notes that I wrote? Jealousy, comparison. What do those things do? They keep us from being happy for somebody else. You guys, that's the best thing about this job, is that I get to celebrate people day in and day out. You have to train yourself when you hear that somebody earned Africa, instead of going, I'm so jealous and I feel inadequate, you say, I'm so happy for you. How did you do that? You guys, on my first incentive trip to Disney, oh my gosh, I was like this kid in a candy store. All these people around me who've rocked their business enough to earn a trip. Holy smokes, I barely earned it for one, and I felt like I didn't know anybody in Scentsy, so I'm walking around wide-eyed. everybody, anybody who would talk to me, how did you earn this trip? Turn those feelings of wanting more or wanting skills, wanting success, don't let that show up as jealousy. Don't let that show up as inadequacy. You have to let that show up as motivation and celebration. You see something that somebody, how did you earn Star Director in a year? Tell me what you did with your top leaders. Can you share that with me? Because I would love to know that knowledge. Instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person because I did not achieve Star Director in 1 year. Celebrate people, you guys. Create opportunities for other people to shine. Because you know what? Every single person you even see at the top home office, superstar directors, star directors, people who are in Africa, don't tell me that they don't have issues. Don't tell me that they don't have sorrows in their life or insecurity, because they do. And when you approach them and you say, look what you've accomplished, I admire that, and I would love to learn from you. Do you know what that does to them? Rises them up. It fills them up. And it fills the holes of their insecurity. And now you're building a relationship from somebody that you admire, and you can rise together. You guys, when I tell you that's what my Scentsy year has been like, I'm not lying. Because I've taken my feelings of insecurity and hopelessness from being on that will cancel list, from having customers wonder if I was still even in Scentsy, to reaching out and looking at the people that I admire most and saying, I admire you. I'd like to learn from you. Can I watch you? I've done that. And I can tell you, from pouring yourself into others like that, from celebrating people and celebrating accomplishments, you build relationships and you learn and you grow. And you guys, that feeling of celebrating rather than jealousy. Celebrate people instead of feeling jealousy or comparison. When you celebrate, it turns into a celebration for you too. I celebrate your accomplishments, and it makes me feel good too. Like, that's a good reward. I mean, you do it to make other people feel good, but when you see that they feel good from it, that's good. So my team member who was comparing herself to others on our team, my team is amazing right now. You should see them. I'm so over the top excited for my team. Here's a good example. My team, after me being the top sales for as long as I can remember, hey, it's my team, I better have the top sales, right? They're starting to pass me up, guys. They're passing me up. I'm not gonna lie. There's a little twinge of that ugly stuff that goes, oh my gosh, they're passing my sales. If I feel like that as a leader, imagine how they feel as a team they're all trying to get to the top of that list, you know? So when I get an email from a team member who says, oh, so-and-so's is 2,000 in sales, oh my gosh, how do they do that? I'm dipping out? No, don't walk away. Ask her what she did. Ask, what did you do to get 2,000 in sales? That's amazing. Okay? It's worth it. Let me go back to my notes. So, jealousy and comparison keeps you from being happy and feeling joy for other people. Don't let it take that away, guys. It keeps you from deepening relationships. It's a roadblock. This is a business that is dependent on good relationships with your customers, with your team, with us, with each other, you guys, and we're better together. We are not competing against each other because there's room for success for everybody. That's the beauty of this business. That's why I feel like I can thrive here, because it's up to me. It's up to me. It doesn't matter if 100 people get Star Director before I do. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people achieve that before I do. There doesn't take away my spot, doesn't take away my opportunity. There's my spot's waiting over there. And every day I have to make choices that will get me to that spot. Every day you have to make choices that are going to get you to that boat. Every day. Not once a week. Every day. And you're going to learn so much about yourself on the way. You're going to have those ugly feelings that come up. You have to fight. You have to fight like a zebra in Africa running from the cheetah. That cheetah is the ugly self-doubt, and you have got to run and run and run from that predator, because it's going to get you if you're not strategic and purposeful about your plan. All right? You have got to run like your life depends on it. Run from the jealousy. Run from the insecurity. What does that look like? You gotta celebrate people. You have got to be eager to learn. You've got to be eager to look at your weaknesses and grow like you've never grown before. Pour into these trainings. Don't get overwhelmed. Pick one a day. As you go to bed every night, listen to one. One. Maybe two if you can't sleep. And then as you fall asleep, reflect on it and think about what you can do the next day to be better. Oh my gosh, I wrote on here mom comparisons. Mothers are a very good example. Look at that minivan she's driving. That's brand new. I don't like her. She's got a nicer minivan than me. She must have had to sell herself to the devil to get that thing. I mean, it's just so dumb the way our minds work, right? Tell your mom friend, nice minivan. That looks amazing. I would love to have a minivan like that one day. Gotta sell more wax. Whatever. Sorry, I'm sick. Hey guys, encourage each other and build each other up, Cassie said probably a long time ago. Yes, yes, yes. Don't compare yourself. You are you on your own unique individual journey. It's not fair to compare yourself to anybody else. And when you see somebody else that you want to compare yourself to, say, they're doing a great job. I'm going to let them know they're doing a great job. And I'm going to let them know that I want to learn from them. Doesn't hurt. Comparisons can be motivating though. Okay? They're not all bad. But they can make you miserable. So you decide. When you get a nugget of training, when you get a nugget of information about somebody, you decide. Is this going to motivate me or is this going to crush me? You choose. I see people every day choose to crush them. Don't let it crush you. Let it motivate you. When you see that somebody achieved director in 2 months, let that motivate you. It took me 3 years and a lot of failures. Let me say it again. It took me a lot of failures before I achieved director. You are going to fail. You are going to feel feelings of doubt, but you have to fight. And when you have those things that are coming into your life that make you feel less than, don't let it win. You have got to flip it and turn it into motivation. Turn it into motivation, not self-doubt. I like this. I was reading something and it talked about competitive and cooperative feelings. Competitive and cooperative. We don't need to be competitive with this incentive, you guys. We need to be cooperative. We need to wrap our arms around each other and be, this is what I keep preaching, and show Scentsy that we are going to fill that boat. And how are we going to do it? Not by competing with each other. We're competing with ourselves. We're competing with that feeling of self-doubt every day. Let's make that win, and let's overcome it together. Like, we've got this, you guys. We can do this. It's open for all. So take what you've learned from this experience over 24 hours and don't let it die. Every day I have to fight. Even it's only August and I'm like, oh, I'm nowhere where I was last year. Last year I was killing it in August. I came home from Disney World and I was like, Scentsy for everybody. signing up people left and right. So I had like so much PRV last year. I'm trying to compare myself now to last year. That's not good. And I'm letting that ugly feeling happen because I'm comparing myself to me. Now, how unhealthy is that? I need to change that feeling and turn it to motivation. All right, let's go. Let's do this. I can do it. Know when to use each feeling, you guys. Know when those things come up. Know what feeling to use. Fight for the feeling of motivation to come, not competition. Because we are companions, not competitors. Companions, not competitors. When you're feeling inadequate compared to somebody else, don't forget that we are human. Everybody's human. And everybody had to earn their spot to get where they are in this business. Everybody started with that same $99 kit, okay? And they had to make a unique, one-of-a-kind path to the top, or wherever they are, all right? And you are also on a path that isn't over yet. There's not an end. The only end comes when you decide it's the end, all right? When you decide not to place an order on that third month, or when you decide to break the rules in order to get ahead, that's when your path comes to an end. Know that this path is possibly very long and beautiful. Don't take others down or take yourself down as you're approaching and continuing on this path. While you're continuing on this path, you celebrate. You walk that path and you celebrate. Celebrate people and celebrate your product that you love. And you bring people with you along the way. I cannot tell you the joy from having a team. Because now, my days, instead of being by myself, trying to figure out how to do this business, I've got this team of people all over the country that I love. And we get to do this business together. And it's beautiful. When you celebrate people, it's priceless. When you bring people along with you to share the joy of this business, it's priceless. Oh, this mess, I tell you. So, we are here to help you feel inspired. We're not here to overwhelm you. We're not here to brag and be like, look at all these trips we've won. No, we're here to tell you that even though we're broken, even though we're insecure, even though we're so human, that we have worked so hard and we want to help you learn what we've learned along the way. I get emotional about it because I'm telling you guys, there's nothing like this job. Just last night, one of my close friends said, I'm so sick of direct sales. Yeah, there's some people who make it look pretty bad. I'm telling you, you guys are in the right space. I can celebrate a lot of direct sales businesses. There's something about Scentsy. There's something about the heart of this business that makes me know that I'm in the right place. And that no matter what my past, no matter what my present, no matter what my future holds, there's a place for me in Scentsy. They work with me right where I'm at. They will work with you right where you're at. And they have a business model that demonstrates that no matter what, you can run a business. And you have a sea of women and men around you who are eager to train you. I'm giving you, an hour of my time. I probably poured about an hour into just kind of getting ready and prepped. 2 hours of my time. I'm not getting paid for this, Like, this is something I will wake up in the middle of the night and pour into you because I care about you and I feel so strongly that there's a spot on that boat for you. And so while I'm not teaching you a specific skill today, I'm not going to teach you about follow-up. or basket parties or recruiting. Hey, Jennifer, I want to work on your heart today, because if you don't believe you can be on that trip, you're not going to go on that trip. You have to believe it, and you have to want it. If you're going to listen to these stories and feel inadequate, it's going to be hard for you to get on that trip. You need to listen to these stories and feel motivated and inspired. And you have to know that you cannot do it all. But you can take pieces of each little thing and think about, how can I take this and move it forward? How can I take these pieces of information and pour it into my business and move it forward? How can I add it to my own unique success story? So, we are here to inspire and motivate you, not make you feel inadequate. Stop looking at others and feeling like you're less than. Start looking at others and celebrating them and being eager to learn from them. I feel like I have motivational music coming in now. It's my cue to end. They're trying to get ready for breakfast. I hope that I did that okay. You know, now I'm going to go and wonder, should I have said this? Should I have not said this? But I hope that you can hear my heart when I say, don't let that cougar win that's chasing you down. Be the zebra that's going to run so freaking fast that that sea of doubt can never catch up to you. You have got to run like the wildest animal in the forest from it. And celebrate along the way. Okay? Celebrate. And when you learn something great, share it. Don't be like hogging everything and being like, I've got all this information and I'm going to grow my business and nobody's going to know. Oh my gosh. Share. If you don't share your joy, if you don't share your knowledge and your excitement, it's going to be a lonely journey. Again, the beauty of this business is that I get to try to make thousands of other people rise up with me. That's why I will never turn down an opportunity to speak in a situation like this. You mean I get to try to inspire 5,000 more people to do this job? To find out the joy that I have, to go on a trip that changed my life just like I have? You better believe I'm going to share that. And that's why everybody was here today. And sharing is caring. You're right, Lee. They're not here to make you feel doubtful or less than. They're here to go, look what I can do, even though I'm just a human who has a lot on my plate. 5 kids, who feels like I'm a terrible housekeeper and it's going to turn into a counseling session, who's so overwhelmed. I get very overwhelmed. But you know what? I fight it and I celebrate and I keep working. Because mama's got to get on that boat in Europe. And you have to too. So work and love and live and inspire and be genuine and authentic and simple and caring and generous. One day at a time, guys. One day at a time. There's going to be days where you don't feel good. Wake up the next day and change, okay? Wake up the next day and dedicate yourself to doing better that day. You can do it. Love you guys. Have a great day.